guys, it's Summer. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to click on today's video. In today's video, we are going to be doing my weekly budget check-in for the month of January, and it's going to cover the weeks of January 1st to January 8th, and it also is going to be my first weekly check-in in 2022. So I'm so excited to share with you guys what I bought this week or what I spent money on. I am using this weekly budget check-in that I did purchase off Etsy. If you are interested in this check-in, I will go ahead and leave it in the description box. The first portion of my check-in is the spending area. And on the spending area, you write the date, the item that you purchased, the category that it is coming out of, or the category that it belongs to, the cost, and whether it was a need or want. Some of my dates are out of order because I do use the trackers in my cash envelopes to put the dates on my weekly budget check-in, so some of the dates are out of order. So my first expense on my tracker is from January 2nd. On January 2nd, I did go to Sprouts, which is a grocery store, to pick up some groceries. That came out of the food category, and I spent $17, and that was definitely a need. On January 5th, my son and I did eat out at Chick-fil-A. That came out of the food category, and that was $22. If you have been watching my videos, you know that I am currently doing the pantry challenge, and that is where you eat the foods in your pantry and out of your freezer. That way you can make room for new items. I am still doing the pantry challenge. However, throughout the month, I will continue to eat out some days, but I did reduce my food budget for this month. Typically, I budget $600 for food, and this month, I believe I budgeted $380 for food. So at Chick-fil-A, we spent $22, and that was definitely a want. On January 6th, we did eat out again. We went to In-N-Out. That came out of the food category, and we spent $18, and that was definitely a want. I know, guys, I did eat out 2 days in a row. My son's dad is currently out of town, so I am responsible for transporting my son to all of his events, lessons, etc. And he definitely has a busy schedule. He does basketball, so he has 3 basketball practices a week. He does Kung Fu. He has 1 hour-and-a-half lesson a week. He takes piano lessons, which is once a week for an hour. And he has church group, which is once a week for 2 hours. So some of our nights are really, really long, and I am a full-time working mom. On January 8th, I did go to Aldi's to pick up some groceries, and I spent $27, and that was definitely a need. I have to say I have been doing a really good job with going to the grocery store and sticking to my grocery list and only buying items that I need, so produce. And then I did have to buy some butter because we were out of butter. On 1/8, I did go to Costco. That came out of the food category, and that was $12. I really like the Suja juices, and they were on sale this week, so I did buy 2 big jugs of that, and that was definitely a need as well. On 1/8, we did eat out at Chipotle after church. That came out of the food category, and we spent $24. That was definitely a want. We could have ate at home. On 1/8, I did go to Costco. I had to pick up some multivitamins, some probiotics, and some lotion. That came out of the self-care category, and I did spend $53, and that was a need. This month, Costco does have a lot of their vitamins and lotions and soaps on sale in their coupon book. So if you're interested in buying any of those things, you can go ahead and check it out at Costco if you have a Costco membership. On 1/8, I did get my nails done. That came out of the self-care category, and that was $58. That was definitely a want. On January 1st, I did get gas. That came out of the transportation category and I spent $51. That was a need. On January 8th, I had to fill up on gas again. That came out of the transportation category and I spent $45. That was a need. On 1/8, I did get some quarters for laundry. That came out of the household category and I spent $10. On 1/8, I did have to pick up some toilet paper from Costco. That came out of the household category and I spent $18. That was a need. On 1/8, I did have my house professionally cleaned. That came out of the household category and that was $100. That was a want. I definitely can clean my house. I am really busy, so it's really nice to have help where someone comes in once a month to deep clean my house. So the next section is our budget check-in. So for the budget check-in, we're gonna look at our categories, how much we budgeted for the month, how much we spent this week to find out how much money we have remaining for the month. I do budget monthly and I stuff my cash envelopes monthly as well. So let's go ahead and highlight our expenses. So first let's look at our food expenses, which is in this teal color. So we have food, 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 food. I guess we can see where a lot of my money went. I have my calculator out. So for food, we spent $17 plus $22 plus $18 plus $27 plus $12. So it looks like we spent $96, but I did not add the $24. So it looks like we spent $120 on food. Let's go ahead and check that. I really like this calculator because it is a dual calculator, so I can push this button and it will move the 120 to the second screen, and then we can go ahead and check it. Yes, so we did spend $120 on food. If you watch my budget video and my cash stuffing video, you would know that I did budget $480 for food this month. I did go ahead and decrease that to $380. That way I could add $100 to my household envelope. So for this month, we have budgeted $380 for food, and we have spent $120 so far. So now let's take our $380 minus our $120. So we have $260 left to spend on food this month. The next category we need to look at is, it says gas, but it's transportation, is our transportation expenses. We filled up on gas on January 1st and January 8th. So let's add up those two expenses. 51 plus 45 equals, we spent $951 plus $45 equals $96. So we have spent $96 on gas, and we did budget $251 for the month. So if we take $251 and minus $96, we are left with $155. Now let's look at our household expenses. Household, and household. So for household, we spent $10 plus $18 plus $100. So for our household, we have spent $128 so far. We did budget $150 for household this month. So if we take $150 and minus $128, that means we are left with $22 in the household category. For miscellaneous, we did not have any miscellaneous expenses this week. So I'm gonna put we spent $0, which means we have $50 remaining. Now let's look at our self-care. Here's a self-care expense and a self-care expense. For self-care, we did budget $300 for the month, and so far we have spent $53 plus $58. So for self-care, we have spent $111 so far. So if I take my $300 budget and minus my weekly spending of $111, that means we are left with $189 in self-care. For guilt-free, we did budget $40 and we did not make any guilt-free purchases this week. I'm still gonna highlight it pink. So we budgeted $40 and we spent $0, so we are still left with $40 remaining. The next section is our weekly reflection section. What did I do well? I did a really good job at tracking my expenses this week. Where can I improve? Guys, I still need to improve in the food category. As you can see, the majority of my spending this week did go to food. However, I am really proud of myself because looking at what I spent on food this week, it is lower than what I typically spend. I have been doing a good job with the pantry challenge. I have not bought in any snacks or freezer food this month so far. So I am doing good in food. However, I would like to not have food be the area where most of my money is going. Next week, I want my goal to be to only eat out 2 times. So I believe in setting realistic goals, and looking at my weekly budget check-in, I know that food is the area that I struggle the most in. And I know that I typically eat out 3 to 4 times a week. This week I ate out 3 times. So I think it is a realistic goal for me to have a goal to only eat out 2 times next week. So when you guys are doing your budget, it's really important to make sure that you are creating a realistic budget. So when creating your budget, if you are new, it's really good to just track your expenses for the first month. That way you can see where your money is going, and that way you can budget for the things that you enjoy, and that way it's a realistic budget. Budgeting is not supposed to be stressful, and I truly believe that when you budget, it's important to budget and still live the life that you love on a budget. So you can restrict yourself from some things, but don't completely restrict yourself from everything, because that will lead to burnout very quickly. So that is a look at my weekly budget check-in. So now let's go ahead and check my envelopes to make sure these numbers are correct. Sorry, I had to go get my trackers and my workbook from the Budget Mom. This is the budget planner that I use. So what I do is, I know some people have been asking for some tips on tracking. So in all of my cash envelopes, I do have trackers, and I track my expenses on the tracker. I find this the easiest way because I always have my trackers with me on hand. So if I have some extra time when my son is at practice, I can fill out my trackers. I keep my receipts in my wallet, and then once I've tracked the expense, I put a check mark. That way I know the expense has been tracked. Then what I do is, because I still want to fill out the expense tracker in my Budget by Paycheck workbook, so what I do is I take the information from my tracker and I will just add up the expenses for the week. And then on my weekly tracker, I will just put weekly food and the amount That way I still know where my money is going and I do not have to write down every single expense. So I will continue to write the expenses on my tracker and in my weekly budget check-in. That way I can just reflect and see where my money is going every week. And then this, I will just lump the expenses and just put on one line. Or if I fill out this page, like I did do my weekly spending, but then after doing my weekly spending, I did have some more purchases. So I just went ahead and added those purchases on the lines. I did take my envelopes out of my wallet to make it easier. So it says for food, we should have $244 left. Let's check. 100, 200, 220, 225, 230, 235, 240, 241, 242, 243, 244, 245. That is probably because of I do round up on my trackers. So that is probably why it says that. For gas, it says we should have $156 left. Let's check. 50, 100, 150, 155, 156. So that is correct. How are you guys doing with tracking your expenses so far? For guilt-free, it says I should still have $40 in there. 2040, so everything is there. For household, it says I should have $22. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So everything is there for household. For miscellaneous, it says I should still have $50. 20, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So all of that is there. And then for self-care, it says I should have $189 left. $100, $120, $130, $135, $140. $160, $180, $181, $182, $183, $184, $185, $186, $187, $188, $189. Let's check that. 100, 120, 140, 160, 170, 175, 180, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this has an extra dollar, so there is actually $190 in my envelope. And that is due to the rounding, but I'm just going to keep it there as a buffer. For back to the bank, I do have some money in the back to the bank, and then I go ahead and put that on the tracker. So I did pay my cleaning lady with Apple Pay. So then I needed to take the $100 out of household and put back in the bank. So I'm gonna do that. And then for credit card, it also has some money in it because I did use my Costco card for the groceries and the gas. So I put that there and put the $128 back in the credit card envelope so that I can take this to the bank and make a $128 payment, and that will completely pay off my card. Well, that concludes today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I would love to know how you did this week with your budget. What did you do well? What and where can you improve in your budget? And what are your goals for next week? I would love to know about those, and you can leave them in the comment section. I really like engaging with you guys in the comment section. Well, I hope that you have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel.